And we're live. Greetings, friends. Not sure what's going on with this preview here. So, we'll just keep running this until we get the main video, and then we will go to full screen. David is here. Greetings, David. Welcome. Thank you for being here early, sir. Appreciate you, friend. What's for dinner and happy Monday? On Mondays, we Marston. Batzaro says, howdy, folks. And David says hi to Bat. Miko says, hello, superantonio and Sadie. Hello, mods. Howdy, folks. Greetings, Miko. Sadie's here. Sadie is up for once. What's that about? David says hello to Miko with the snake emoticon. Batzaro says, hey, David and Miko. Hope your evenings are going well. Miko says, hey, David and Bats. David says, there he is. And hello, Sadie girl. And David says, good so far, Bat. How about you? I'm not getting the main video to load. I'm not sure what's going on here. But we'll just keep going here. Batzaro says, howdy, Miss Sadie and Super Antonio. And David says, hello, Sadie girl. David had pork chops, corn, and green beans and mashed taters. That sounds delicious, David. Let me try something. Let me try. Yeah, I don't know what's happening with this video. I was fooling around with the settings. And we can't get the main Marston Mondays to load. We might just be watching Bonnie's Ranch all night long. What's that about? But, so how is everyone? I reloaded the video, and we have this 3-minute preview. But for some reason, it just kept recycling through. But unfortunately, I can't show you the main video without showing you the preview. So we're just going to have to hang out and talk for a little bit. Batardo says, good friend, going good. I had some fried catfish my son and I caught Saturday with asparagus and rice pilaf. I loved catfish. Catfish Jackson. David says, sounds good. Yes, it does. Well done, Batardo. And I'm glad you went fishing with your son. You created a happy memory for him. One that he's going to remember all his life, I'm sure. Those are important. I was busy all day. I have a new short schedule. Remember how we were doing 3 a day? Now we're going to do 4 a day as long as I'm able to. At 6 a.m., 12 a.m., 12 p.m., 6 p.m., and midnight. So your inbox or your feed is going to be spammed with Super Antonio shorts, and I apologize for that. It's mostly for new viewers and for the algorithm. The algorithm likes shorts, and a view with a short, like one view with a short, counts just as much as a view with a video or a view with a live stream. In terms of the algorithm, except, you know, the shorts are like 20 seconds long as opposed to, you know, 1 hour or 20 minutes. So it's good for the channel. David says, sounds good. I appreciate your support, David. And where is our video? This is super annoying. David says, is the full game commentary returning? I don't think so. I don't know if I ever want to do another full game commentary. I don't know if I ever want to play a new full game. I know Odog wanted me to do a... Sorry. Odog wanted me to do a Bad Honor live stream. but that just doesn't sound interesting to me. Okay, here we go. And we're live. Pazzaro says, my son always makes the jokes. He hopes the dang Pinkertons don't show up when we go fishing. Yes, that's a funny joke. That works. And I also hope they don't show up when you go fishing. Hold on a second. Trying to get this to work for y'all. Wait. Looking for that footage for Gaptooth Ridge, so at least we can get the turtle trinket. There's another raid on Fort Mercer I also wanted to show you. Okay, that should work. Meanwhile, in Saint Denis, look at Sadie being all attentive and everything. How is everyone tonight? How's your week going? Hope you recovered from the weekend. I did. Got to see a bunch of family, which wasn't really a problem, but it was a little bit emotional because I don't know, celebrating isn't the right word. We were honoring, it was the anniversary of my mother's death, and we were honoring her memory, I guess. Which, I guess it was good. We went to P.F. Chang's and her and my father's gravesite. But it was a long day. And I was so happy to be back. We did the Sinister Sundays, which is an enjoyable series for me. Oh, David, I got your pictures of Madame LaLaurie's house. Nicolas Cage used to live there. That's where I heard about Madame LaLaurie, and then of course, she was featured in American Horror Story Coven. But yeah, we'll do Madame LaLaurie at some point, and I will showcase your pictures. But I think next Sunday we shall be exploring the Exorcist Curse. What's that about? Cloudy says, howdy, y'all. Greetings, Cloudy. Welcome. Happy Monday. On Mondays, we Marston. Batzaro says, somber, but for a good cause to honor your mother. Yeah, it was very somber. It was an emotionally heavy day for me. A heavy week because I was not looking forward to doing this. I didn't want to do it. But I did it, and it was fine, I guess. Ate a lot, ate too much. I stress ate, and I drank. I hardly ever drink alcohol, but I really needed to get a little bit of a buzz on. Sadie is in front of the balcony right now, as far away from the stream as possible. David says he owned it for a few months. Yes. Like Johnny Depp, he was collecting houses. But unlike Johnny Depp, he wasn't able to keep all his money. And David says, Cloudy. And Betzaro says, howdy, Cloudy. Yeah, so, I mean, it happened. And I guess I survived. But I'm glad it's over. So we can get back to the business of living my life, such as it is. And he has a few spotted Appaloosa. We should see how he's doing. Perhaps he needs assistance. Good morning, sir. Routine camp inspection. Haven't done that in a while. I wonder, David, if he has any frying pans. Yeah, the Tunguska event on Sunday was a little more scientific than, than I wanted it to be. Hold on. Not sure where that music's coming from. Fast travel. That's the countdown. Oh, so weird. Why is this now playing? And it's super loud. And we're live. Batzaro says weird. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on, Batzaro. Streamlabs is messed up today. But the good news is it's kind of working. And you get to see everything that was promised in the thumbnail. And the stream will be a little longer than usual. Hortus is here. Hortus says, y'all. Hey, y'all. David says, Hort. Hort. Just in time, Hort. And we're live. We had a lot of weird technical issues with the stream not starting and being stuck on the countdown, but it finally happened. Cloudy says, is the next Sinister Sunday about Jack the Ripper? I would love to talk about Jack the Ripper. I have a lot to say on the subject. The serial killer streams seem to get demonetized a lot. And Jack the Ripper was sexually motivated. So there are just lots of weird little landmines that the algorithm will pick up if I talk about him. So probably not. I'm going to discuss the the cursed events surrounding the production of The Exorcist. But I love Jack the Ripper. Well, I don't love Jack the Ripper, but I really enjoy the history. And I have, you know, I consider myself a Jack the Ripper scholar. Bazzaro says, howdy, Hort. Cloudy says, I see. Yeah, the algorithm can be a minefield. Like that H.H. Holmes Sinister Sunday got demonetized instantly. I said one word. One word was all it took. Bazzaro says you could do a whole series on movie curses. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That might be fun. But The Exorcist is the one that has, for me, that has the most coincidences and the most things that went wrong with the production. But I think it will fit in very well with the theme of Sinister Sundays. And even though, you know, true crime is very popular, and there are true crime channels that somehow get around it. But I think we're going to stick with, you know, paranormal stuff and cryptids, Bigfoot and the Chupacabra, UFO sightings, haunted houses, stuff like that. Also, Marie Laveau, David. I thought we could talk about Marie Laveau. I'm sure you encountered her during your stay in Saint Denis. Hortus says Xbox had a great showing yesterday. Maybe the best they've ever had, to be honest. Ubisoft's show today was okay, but lacked any exciting or unexpected news. I made a video on Metal Gear Solid. It didn't do that well. I was trying a new thumbnail format. But apparently in the remake of Metal Gear Solid Snake Delta, Snake's going to get battle damage. While he will recover from battle damage, it will leave permanent scars wherever he gets hit. So he's going to be super scarred up by the end of the game. I thought that was interesting. Papa One is here. Papa One, greetings. Happy Monday. On Mondays, we Marston. Everyone say hello to Papa One and thank him for his service. And Mama One is also here. Greetings, Mama One. Everyone say hello to Mama One and thank her for putting up with Papa One. David says, there he is, and there she is. Cloudy says, I used to watch videos about the Salem witch trials. Yes, indeed. That would work. I know a lot about the Salem witch trials as well. But Zaro says, howdy, Papa and Mama. And Papa One says, David, I hope you're well, my friend. Native American legends would be good. There's a bunch we can do. It'll be fun. Miko says, hello, Mama One and Papa One. Cloudy says, howdy, Papa One and Mama One. David says, I'm okay. Mi amigo. Mama One says, hey, David. Hey, Super Antonio and Sadie. We'll call Sadie back with some potent canine bait, which actually is animal crackers. She loves animal crackers. They're cheaper than dog treats. Human treats are cheaper than dog treats. I feel they're better quality. What's that about? And she loves animal crackers. What's not to love? And it's only like 7 calories per cracker, and I cut that one in half. They're not crackers, really. They're cookies. I like feeding her them because, you know, toddlers eat them, and she's a little baby. 10 viewers in the chat. Welcome, friends. Appreciate you being here. And Mama One says, hey, Miko. Hey, Bat Zaro. And hello, Cloudy. Hey, sit. Wait. You have to host the stream. Say hi to Papa One and Mama One and David. And Miko and Cloudy and Bazzaro. Oh, the viewer poll was Cooper versus Lily Mae's boyfriend. And as you would, ex-boyfriend, and as you would expect, Lily Mae's boyfriend won by 79%. Nobody likes Cooper, but I like Cooper. He's a big bruiser. Women like to be protected. I mean, they're both examples of not of bad boyfriends, but I would err on the side of Cooper. I don't want to be like whiny and sad and writing poetry, and throwing rocks, in the river. But that's because, that's very close to my character, I suppose. Bazzaro says, my dog likes animal crackers too. I thought she was the only one, LOL. Yeah, she's loving she likes human treats, of course. What's not to like? But I will feed her animal crackers and graham crackers and, what else? Sometimes pretzels, but I'll knock the salt off. Cloudy says, my family used to own a pit bull, but he never wanted to eat dog treats. He only liked chicken. Well, what's not to like, Cloudy? Papa One says, a big thanks to Mama One for putting up with me, LOL. I'm sure there were times my wife wanted to kill me and my dad would have helped with the body, but she stayed by my side, so I'll always love her. Mama One says, Cooper's dead, isn't he? I think he just got knocked out, Mama One. And Bazzaro said, hey, I voted for Cooper. Yeah, Bazzaro, well done. I did too. David says, he had a cool looking stash. Yeah, I liked his look. I liked his big arms and, and the bowler and the mustache. He kind of looked like a circus strongman. And and his, his scars. Mama One says, don't you have to kill him? Well, you just kind of I assume he's knocked out. And only sleeping. But maybe you kill him. Darth Vader says hello. Greetings, David. Darth Vader. The force is strong with this one. May the fourth be with you. David says DV, and Bazzaro says howdy, Vader. We'll return this horse so that guy will stop bugging us. Blue Roan Nakota. He will cycle through medium horses if you don't help him. David says, got tired of this guy, so I fire bottled him. Yeah, I always like to see what horses he gets. Mama One says, I love my Papa One with all my heart from the day I met him. That's sweet. He is and always will be the love of my life. Yeah, that's nice. You're very lucky. Both of you are very lucky. Cloudy says, if you wait for a minute, he gets up. Cooper? Bazzaro says, he's just sleeping for the rest of time. Well, he was very tired after fighting Arthur. 13 viewers in the chat. Welcome, friends. Happy Monday. On Mondays, we Marston. Sadie moved to the couch. Darth Vader asks, what's your favorite horse? Well, Biscuit, of course, the Silver Dapple Pinto Missouri Foxtrotter, and then the Piebald Tobiano Hungarian Halfbred, and the Brindle Thoroughbred. Then, of course, we have Buell, the Cremello Gold Dutch Warm Blood, and Rachel, the Seal Brown Thoroughbred, and Sadie's horse Bob is very pretty. The Gold Dapple Turkoman. Hosea's Silver Dollar. Mama One asks, what's your honest opinion on Morgans? They're very underrated. The Palomino Morgan is one of the prettiest coats in the game. But you know, they're minor horses. They're common horses. You can find them anywhere. I wish they were. I wish they had better stats. And David's favorite horses are the Flaxen Hungarian Halfbred, the Flaxen Chestnut, and the Andalusian from the Strawberry Stables. Those work. I really enjoy opening up the map. That makes me happy. And David says the liver chestnut Morgan is cool looking. Yes, it is. Again, very pretty. Wish they had better stats. Eagles is here. Eagles says, hey, Eagles. David says, pro. We got a full house tonight. I'm happy. Thanks for being here, friends. On a Monday, no less. Mama one says, I wish you could work with lower stat horses to boost speed and endurance, not just by bonding, like actual horse training. Yeah, that would be interesting. Horta says, I'm hoping Fable has horses, if not mythical creature mounts. Yeah, now what happened? Pardon me, friends, we're experiencing some technical difficulties. We shall proceed to the Gaptooth raid. Just let me check something here. Where are we? Papa One says, hey, Eagles. And Darth Vader says, mine is the Silver Dapple Pinto Missouri Foxtrotter. That's a good choice. Darth Vader. Eagle says, I just got off work. And Batsaro says, Turkoman's hands down. Gold for looks. You featured my Arthur's gold one, Angraboda, a couple of years ago. And Batsaro says, me too, Mama. I do love the Turkomans. I hate that neck flop they do when they're stressed. And they're running that flip-flop, that floppy neck thing. First time that happened, I thought I'd broken the horse. Infinite gold bars here, if you can get that out. You can usually nudge it out with a throwing knife. It's not working right now. Sometimes with a bow. David says, John's rented room from Red Dead 1. Eagle says, I'm going to go have fun. I'm going to go. Have fun, y'all. Okay, Eagles, you have a great night. Thanks for checking in. Papa One says, funny enough, most horses, even really fast racehorses, have to be taught to ride fast as they have to be used to a rider, so most horses naturally ride slower. Interesting. And Batsaro says, I usually just run at the box and it pops out. Yeah, I suppose we could try that. David says, later, pro, and Batsaro says, night, Eagles. And Papa One continues, especially if the horse likes you, because it will not want to throw you off or hurt you. Mostly stubborn horses will buck you, or as my dad used to say, they just don't like you. Yeah, horses have personalities. I mean, they're big and they've got big brains. But I knew this one horse girl, and she had broken her collarbone, and she had a steel plate. She had a titanium plate in her collarbone, and the first, the first time we were talking about, when I just met her, and she was like, feel it, Antonio, feel it. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll feel your collarbone. It was pretty funny. And I got to see more of her and her horse and her collarbone, but it was just funny. And here's the exploding moonshine shack. I've dated a lot of horse girls, it seems, in my life. Papa One says, I had one that always threw me, and I tried to break him. Mama One almost had a heart attack because he flung me on my head because I got a titanium plate in my head from the AK-47 shot. Yeah, Papa One, you're part Terminator now. So tomorrow's poll is going to be inspired by Miko, I believe. Mr. Margaret versus the Van Horn Bath Lady. And I know who I'm voting for. And it's not the Van Horn Bath Lady. She's a very handsome woman. She has strong hands. And off to Gaptooth Ridge we go. Papa One says, my dad finally came out and said, son, maybe the horse just doesn't like you. My dad was drunk as a skunk, but managed to break him in an hour or two. He actually liked the horse so much, he bought it. Yeah, your dad sounds like he had his, it's like he had a second sense, or, horses just get him. Oh, I saw, there's one YouTuber I watch, Nikki Delventhal. She has 2 dogs, and she lives in a van down by the river. No, she doesn't. She's a van YouTuber. She travels the country in a van with 2 dogs. One is like about Sadie's size, and the other one is like a little yappy dog. Okay, and she's like always going on like nature hikes and stuff. But I never knew that this existed. But she had a thing called a predator vest. Predator. What's that about? So it's like a vest that they wear that's all spiky on the back and around the neck, like big, like sharp punk rock spikes. And it's for, apparently these like little yappy dogs get picked up by eagles and coyotes all the time when you take them out on trails. And so you have to put these predator vests on them. And they're super expensive on Amazon. They're like $90. And they don't come in a size for her. I just wanted to get her one because it looks very punk rock and it's very cool. But they're like, no, these are for dogs that are 25 pounds and under, who have no business being out in the wild in the first place. Darth Vader says, what's your favorite thing about Red Dead? Everything, Darth Vader. This is my favorite game of all time. And Batzaro says, I had one the first time in a day. I got I got on him. He was going to buck at least a few seconds. He just liked messing with me though. And Papa One says, my dad was just crazy. I got thrown one time. We were riding in the woods looking for points in the fence where coyotes could get in to fix up, as coyotes would go after livestock. Well, I got thrown by my horse Josie. You know, I read something interesting about foxes in England. The biologists are theorizing that foxes are in the process of domesticating themselves, because there are, like, apparently they're getting friendlier and friendlier, and you know, they're like asking for handouts more with humans, and they're like bringing their young over, introducing their pups to humans. And so they, you know, I don't know how long it takes to domesticate an animal. How many generations? How many generations? So is it like 100 years? No, it's more than 10 generations. The 5 stages of domestication. Inbreeding, genetic drift, natural selection in captivity, and relaxation of natural selection and active selection. Oh, and it says it actually asks how many generations did it take to domesticate foxes? It's over 40 generations. And the criteria for domestication is a diverse appetite, rapid maturation, willingness to breed in captivity, docility, strong nerves, and a nature that conforms to social hierarchy. The oldest animal to be domesticated, is a dog, 15,000 years ago. Other animals include goats, sheep, and cows. Among birds, the chicken was first domesticated in East Asia, seemingly for cockfighting, some 7,000 years ago. And Papa One continues, and I hit my head on a big rock. Mama once started freaking out. My dad just laughed and said, want a beer? Batzaro says, here's a beer, son. It'll make you forget the pain. And Papa One says something like that, Batzaro. Okay, we are going to take this stagecoach. We're going to charge it into Gaptooth Ridge. Regrettably, some of those horses are going to go to sleep, and I apologize for it. Miko says there was a study that was done on foxes in fur farms. They selected the ones with desirable behavior and physical traits. Those traits were passed on relatively fast in succeeding generations. Yeah, but I don't want them for their fur. I just want a fox pet. Yeah, see, that horse is only sleeping. I wanted to charge at these guys, and these stupid horses were not having it. My dad, Papa One says, my dad was a heavy drinker, but he always remained in control. He had bourbon balls, as he called it. As I called it. He just didn't care. The only thing he was concerned about was if he spilled his alcohol. Yeah, I've never been a heavy drinker, even though I've gotten drunk and, you know, I've been around heavy drinkers. You know, I lived that rock and roll lifestyle for a long time. But, you know, I could always take it or leave it. I've been very lucky as far as addictions go. It's never caught me. I can be a casual drinker, a casual smoker, a casual indulger of, you know, the devil's lettuce. But I don't do any of that anymore, friends. You know, my only vice these days is probably ice cream and pizza. Though I did have a drink yesterday. I had a coconut mojito, and it was delicious. They had all these artisanal drinks, like in a fancy menu, and I was like one of the first ones there. Me and my sister and my nephew, and then just this stream of relatives started showing up at the restaurant, and I was like, I need a drink right now, please. Papa one says, my dad would be in prison now with the way kids are today. I mean, he did teach me how to swim twice, once when I was a kid, but after the coma, I had to relearn everything. He threw me in the water and said, just use your arms to push the water. It was scary at 10 and again at like 22 or 23. Yeah, that's not how I learned how to swim, Papa one. Uh, my father had a kinder, gentler approach. But you grew up in a different time. And he was a father for a different time. Speaking of different times, I watched an interesting movie called The Maze Runner. It's from 2010. It's 10 years ago. And it's one of those teen dystopian films. It had a great hook. This young man, he looks like he's 18-ish, wakes up in the middle of a maze with no memory, doesn't even know his name, and there's this whole civilization that has developed around, like in the center of the maze, of all these kids that, like Peter Pan's Lost Boys. They have no idea why they're there or what their purpose is, but they just can't like escape the maze. And the maze changes every night. It just reforms around this like base that has everything you need in it. Okay. So, and there's like all sorts of like, they've developed a society, and there's all sorts of, roles in the society. Like, they've got like a medic and a, and people who build things and a cook. But like the elites, the top of the food chain are the maze runners, and they go all out every day and map and run the maze and map it out and try to look for an exit. And of course, this guy becomes a maze runner. Okay, so it was fascinating to me because I'd seen the Hunger Games, of course, because my sister loved that series. So I watched it just so I could talk to her about it. And I've seen Divergent, and it seemed to me that most of the teen dystopian movies from that time period focused on women or girls. Okay, and this one actually had a male protagonist. So I just started thinking about these things, and thinking about the state of youth today in college, like all the protests and, like the political activism and just the dissatisfaction that these kids are experiencing in life. And 10 years ago, they were consuming this type of dystopian content. This was a very popular movie. And then especially with like The Maze Runner, because it's fresh in my mind, it's like there's no adults. It's just kids running amok, making up rules on their own. Distrust of authority figures, no father figures. It turns out that they're being experimented on. They're being observed by scientists. Not trusting the scientists. Who don't have their best interests at heart. And I haven't really, it hasn't really coalesced into like a full thought, other than I think this dystopian movie trend in a lateral way led to the state we are in, contributed to like the chaos, and it basically fomented revolution on college campuses 10 years later. And the betrayal that they feel after from J.K. Rowling, because they were watching those movies when they were younger, and There's not really father figures in that movie as well. Well, I guess Dumbledore. I see. I haven't really thought it all the way through. It's just an odd thought that I had, and I wanted to share that with you guys. But Zaro says, I love that movie, honestly. There's a sequel and a third was planned. Yeah, I watched it all the way through because I wanted to know what was happening, and I felt that was enough. But yeah, it was a cool movie. It had a great hook. So they just made, I assumed there was going to be a trilogy because they don't end on a cliffhanger. They just, it's like, also it's kind of set up like a video game. They escape the maze. Sorry, I'm spoiling it for you. But then the scientists are still observing them and says, okay, let's see how they do on level 2. And level 2 is like this devastated, cityscape, post-apocalypse, of course. I watched all 3 Divergents. I have them on Blu-ray. What's that about? It was on sale. That's what that was about. Also, it was like it's on one Blu-ray. It was like a 3-for-1, and it was like $4.99. And it was like, okay, I watched the first one and I liked it, so we might as well see what's up. And I've never taken the time to watch all 3, but I have them if I ever want to. I like having things just in case. And Papa One says, yes, he did, Batzaro. Back then, the kid didn't run home to his parents crying because they would beat his behind. Yeah. And someone says, hi, greetings, friend. I can't read your username. Is it Indian? This looks like Indian characters. Shout out to India or Pakistan. Batzara says, and sadly your dad would have been torn apart on Facebook. Yeah, but there wasn't Facebook. He was a different dad for a different time. And Papa One says, my dad and me had the strongest bond ever. There wasn't a day that we went by that we didn't spend together, laugh together, work together, ride together. My brothers always resented me. Yeah, treasure that bond. Well, I'm sure you do. Yeah, Papa, the chat moves really fast. But, and he says, no, my friend, I am from Iraq. Okay, so that's Persian, I suppose. Well, not Persian. That Persian is Iranian. Serena's here. Everybody say hi to Serena. Serena says, hi, Antonio. Sorry, I'm late. I'm really sick. I'm going to see a doctor soon. Fahid says, my name is Fahid. Greetings, Fahid. Happy Monday to you, sir. On Mondays, we Marston. And Serena says, hi, everyone. And David says, Starheart emoticon. And Serena, you're not late. You're just in time. And Mitch Pilon says, I experienced retail therapy at the Absolute Dead Mall in my hometown. Gives dystopian vibes every time. Yeah, I know what you mean, Mitch. But yeah, I do think these dystopian movies led to the state that the American campuses are in, or contributed at least to all these kids' worldview, how they see things. It's yeah, it's crazy. What's that about? Let's see if I can find you another little video. Here, you can watch this one. We can watch home movies. So, this was my review of the Zippo
I thought
lighter,
I
the
might
Red
do
Dead
an
Redemption 2
unboxing
Zippo
and
lighter
review of
that
Rockstar's
I was going
limited
to.
edition Red Dead Redemption 2
I'm gonna make a
brass
short out
Zippo
of it.
lighter.
I did an
I'm your
unboxing,
friendly neighborhood
a fake
superantonio,
unboxing.
and please be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell if you would enjoy seeing more of my Red Dead Redemption 2
And Mitch
content.
says, very interesting point.
Note
Well, I'm
that
glad
this
you
is a
were
recreation of
listening,
an
Mitch.
unboxing, an
It's
artist's
just something I was
rendition, if you
thinking
will.
about that
But it was a
that
lot
I
like
haven't
this.
really been
I
able to
ordered from the
discuss or like
Rockstar
formulate
warehouse, and
into
it
like
came in
an
a
actual
bubble
thought.
mailer via UPS.
But it's just
about
an
a week
idea.
later.
David says,
Here's my address.
okay, guys and gals,
Also,
I have a
this
very
is
early
not
day
really my
tomorrow.
address.
David, I really
Do not
appreciate
write
you
to
being
me
here,
here.
friend. You
I
have a
don't
great
actually
week.
live in the
Hope
game.
to see you on Wednesdays
I
for
totally
Witcher
live in the
Wednesdays.
game.
On Wednesdays, we Witcher.
Let's
That's
open
not
her
my
up.
address. But I thought it was clever. Batzaro says there's probably some truth in that, Super Antonio. And David says goodbye to Star
So I
Hearts
get a
and
Rockstar
Miko
sticker,
Snake
that's
Emoticon, Mama
nice,
One, and
this
Papa
cute little
One.
box.
Papa One says Batzaro, he would have hated social media. He said people
Antique
didn't
brass
belong
finish.
behind a computer all day. They need to experience life and hard work. He liked TV, but he only watched it early in the morning. David says Bat, and Miko says, see you, David. David says hello to Mitch, and Serena
There
says,
it
okay,
is.
David. Good night,
Really
looking
like the
forward to your
action on
parcel.
it.
Bazzaro says night, David,
This
and David
is
says
$44.99
feel better,
in
Star
US dollars
Hearts.
from the Rockstar warehouse. In
Papa One
addition
says
to
bye,
$5
David. Always a
for
pleasure, my
shipping.
friend. And Mama One
Is
says
this
bye,
thing
David.
worth $50?
And David
my
says,
answer to you would have to
always,
be
Papa One.
maybe. I mean, we can pay this off with one bounty hunter mission, so the money isn't a
Made
big
in
deal.
USA.
It is a brass Zippo lighter. A nice weight. It feels good in the hands, and it's fun to play with.
And that's the ultimate edition. You get a steel case, a steel book.
You fill it here with lighter
And you guys
fluid.
probably know
If
how
you
a Zippo
actually
lighter
want to
works.
use it, you just sort of soak the sponge and then place it back in the
My
case.
hands look really red.
It will
It's not.
evaporate
It's not.
over time, so you
You
will
would think
get
I have a
into the habit of
circulation
refilling
problem.
this thing,
I
but
don't.
that is part of the
It's
charm
just a
and
video.
tradition of a Zippo lighter.
Papa One says,
The
ironically,
Zippo
my
lighter is
dad
an
watched
iconic American
more
product
Teletubbies,
manufactured
Blues
in
Clues, and Arthur
Bradford,
after my son was
Pennsylvania.
born. Every
Paraphrase
morning, he would have my
Wikipedia.
son dressed
American George
and
G.
watched
Blaisdell
Barney while
founded
we made
Zippo
coffee and
Manufacturing
smoked a
Company in
cigarette.
1932, and
You know,
produced the first
that
Zippo lighter
Teletubby
in
girl,
early
the
1933.
the baby and the
design
son,
really hasn't
she's all
changed
grown
ever
up now.
since. It
She's
got
super
its name
cute
because
as a
Blaisdell liked
grown-up.
the sound of the
But it
word
makes sense. She was a
zipper,
really
and
pretty baby.
Zippo
She had a
sounded
pretty
more
smile.
modern. Zippo
Mom
lighters
says,
became
best
popular
lighter
in the
ever
United
made.
States
Yes, I
military
agree.
in World War II and have been described as a legendary and distinct symbol of America. And as stated earlier, you can purchase one from the Rockstar website for $44.99.
I don't
It is
believe
engraved on
it's in
both
stock
sides
anymore.
with the Red Dead Redemption 2 logo on one
But
side
I haven't checked.
and the Rockstar
Yeah, I was just going to
logo
use
on
this
the other.
footage and make a quick
Note that
short
you can
out
only
of it.
purchase 4 at a
Yeah, it was
time.
$45.
I have seen these on eBay for anywhere between $89
Now
and
it's
$200.
it's over 200
so
on
you might be
eBay.
able to flip these for a profit once they are sold out. That being said, I bought mine 2 years after the game's release and they are still available. Get one if you love one, but there's easier ways to make money. So to get to the warehouse, go to Newswire and click on the upper left-hand corner to access the menu. Click on Warehouse. It will open up on a completely different window, and here
Oh,
we are.
Rockstar
The
Warehouse.
lighter is under Red
Wonder if
Dead
it's still
Redemption 2
available.
Collectibles.
So yeah, I watched
You
The
can
Maze
also
Runner.
get the soundtrack on red vinyl for $30.
I kinda
Love-colored
recommend it.
vinyl, and a bunch of other items that you
It
would
was an
expect,
interesting
like
story.
T-shirts and key rings. Here
It
is
was
a
a little,
dynamite candle. You could get
Well,
that
it's not
for
written
Bill
for me. It was written for
Christmas.
teens.
It's $75.
And it's probably, you know, it's a little
which
bit better
seems like
than
a typo.
what's
I don't
currently
wanna spend
available.
more than $10
I was amazed
on
at how,
Bill.
you know, came out in
Also, a
2010.
dynamite USB charger
So, you know,
for
14 years
$30,
ago.
which is
And
useless
I
for
was just
Bill,
amazed
as
at
he
the
has nothing
quality
to charge and doesn't really
of it.
know what a USB is. The engraved
It's like,
matchbox is really cool.
you know,
however, it is
it's
sold
almost
out.
pre-streaming.
was
You know,
around
it's like the
$20
quality of
at
movies
time of
has
release.
really gone down.
You also
now
have
that,
the domino set,
you know,
so you can
everything's
play another game with Tilly.
Now that
Looks
everything's
good. I like
available on
that
streaming.
box.
So, you know, the
Also,
the
Red
excitement
Dead
of a
Redemption 2
movie,
collapsible
opening
shot
an
glass
opening
for
movie,
$20.
you know,
I
that's
do
not
enjoy a nice single
that's not
malt.
really a
However,
thing.
I
You
hate
know,
the
it's like it
idea of
opens, a
drinking
movie
out of
will open
metal.
and then,
That being said,
you know, a
this is
week or a
really
month
nice.
later it's
The
available
engraving
on
matches
streaming.
the lighter, And once it's collapsed,
Mama once
it
says,
looks
I
like
helped
a
the World War
pocket
II
watch.
vet deliver his
There's
greyhound
also a
puppies.
Pendleton
He was a
blanket,
breeder.
which
I
is
was
very
always
nice
amazed how,
for
how quick he
$200.
could light up a Winston
Looks very
cigarette.
cozy.
No
Wish the
matter
girls
how
had a
windy,
couple of
just
these.
click, click.
They sleep on the ground. So here's a close-up with the sticker and the box. You got the same box with every Zippo.
And Betzara
And
says,
the lighter.
besides the
You can
first
see the
Hunger Games, it's
engraving.
probably
It's
the
not
best
deep,
of
but
all
you
the
can
teen
definitely feel
dystopian
it.
world
It's
movies
very
that came out
tactile.
around then. I
There's
did
a
like
warning sticker on the other side
Divergent,
because this is America.
but
to be fair, there's
yeah,
no
I think
child locking
Hunger
this
Games
thing,
is a gold
and a kid
standard.
could easily
But-
hurt
and I
themselves
also-
or burn down the house.
I
This
think they
product was
remade the
originally
Hunger.
made
No,
when
they didn't. They
cars
did like a
didn't have
prequel to the
seatbelts.
Hunger Games, but I'm
And
not
a
watching
little
it. I
thank
don't
you from
care.
the company, always nice to see. Zippo is proud of their products, as they should be. And you can barely see the manufacturing date on the base. L18,
Bradford, PA,
18 for
made in
2018, and
USA.
L for the month. L is the 12th letter, so December of 2018, a month after game release. Looking at the interior,
Serena, when
you
are
can
you
see
going to
it's
the
brass
doctors?
all the way through. This finish will not rub off. The brass will, however, develop a patina.
And that, my friends, is about all I have for you tonight. I apologize for all the technical issues we had. We had to watch a bunch of rando stuff, but I hope you enjoyed it. Anyways, shout out to the mods, Serena and David and Papa One and Mama One. Appreciate all you being here. Mitch, Miko, Betzaro, Serena, I really hope you feel better. Fahad, thanks for showing up, my friend. Serena's going to the doctors. Okay, you go to the doctors, Serena. You get better. You get your probably need some antibiotics. But we'll be here. We'll be here Wednesdays, and you get better. And I will see all of you soon. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate your views.